everybody, welcome to my channel. This is your girl, Ngalo. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the comments, the shares, the subscribes. Thank you so much, family. As we grow the channel, please remember to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. If it's the first time you are joining us, where have you been? Where have you been? Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any content as we inform, as we impact, and as we inspire. So right to the topic of today, as we have already seen, today we're going to be talking about a topic that can be very intimidating or very difficult to grasp, but we want to unpack it. Today I want to talk about the 7 pillars that uphold discipline. These are the 7 pillars that I believe make discipline what it is, make discipline as effective as it is. So if you have missed out on any of the shorts, I've added the description below so that you can get other content relating to this specific topic. So today I want to talk about the 7 pillars that uphold discipline. And number one is that discipline functions beyond your comfort zones, because while your comfort zones may get you started, it is discipline that is able to get you across the finish line. What do I mean by this? The thing is, when you get excited about doing something or you are ready to do something new, as much as it might feel like it's being out of your comfort zone or it's out of your comfort zone will allow you to get started because it has not been exposed yet to the intricacies, on the difficulties of that which you are embarking on, what it will entail, what it will demand from you. So your comfort zone will say, okay, you can go along, you can start jogging in the morning. The end goal may be, let's say you're on a weight loss program and you want to make sure you want to lose the weight. You will be able to wake up in the morning the first 5 or 6 days. But when it's cold outside and when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and you're feeling tired, you don't feel like waking up and following the program, it is discipline that is able to get you to the finish line, because discipline is so goal orientated that it forces you to step out of that comfort of that warm blanket or that comfort of being shy and say, you know what, you need to do this, because in order for us to get to the end goal, your comfort zone is not going to help you. Discipline is going to put a demand on you and say you are going to do it because of the fact that this is what the end goal demands. It demands that we wake up in the morning, we do what needs to be done in order to achieve the goal. Number 2, discipline employs a system of reciprocity. And once you have stress tested and proved your process, discipline will reproduce the results. Now, it's very important to understand this concept because sometimes we fail to stress test or to prove our process, and we get surprised that we keep getting the same results that are undesirable. Although we are waking up in the morning, doing the work, studying. The problem is not the waking up in the morning, doing the work or employing discipline. But the problem is the fact that if you have not stress tested, you have not made sure that whatever you're doing is producing the results that you want. Discipline, if you employ it or put it to work in a structure that is not stress tested or it is not proven to produce the results that you want it to produce, then it is futile. You're going to keep getting the same results because discipline will make sure that it reproduces those results. Simple example, if you're a student and you're trying to study, right? And you're like, yo, but I'm waking up every morning. I'm putting in the work. I'm studying all night. I'm doing all of these things, but I'm still failing. The problem is not discipline. The problem then is the system or the process that you have that you are following, it means that you have not stress tested it. You have not made sure that it will produce the results that you need it to produce. And mind you, different processes will require different systems. And for instance, if you're studying maths, you can't employ the same system as studying history, because it's two entities that require different systems in the brain. They function differently. So you need to make sure that when you employ employ discipline to do its work, you need to make sure that you have stress tested your system, and it will reproduce. Discipline will make sure that it reproduces the results that you want it to reproduce. So you want it to reproduce. So in terms of discipline employing a system of reciprocity, what you give it, it will give it back to you. So make sure that your process is stress tested and it is proven that it produces the results that you want it to produce, so that ultimately when you employ discipline, you know that you are not going through a futile exercise. You're not doing the same thing over and over, and like you're not seeing the results that you want to see. And number 3, this one, it can be a bit of a pain, because we might want to think of ourselves as being able to build structures, or we are able to know what is good for us, but not all the time. That is why discipline, number 3, has the right to overrule you when your behaviors threaten or sabotage the goal at hand. Here's the thing, all of us have got blind spots. And in those blind spots, you don't always see as you're supposed to see. It's not as clear, or we are unable to see things for what they are. And certain things that we do or behaviors that we have are the reason why we are not seeing the results that we want to see. And what discipline does is that if you're doing something that is going to sabotage the goal that you have set before you, discipline says you are overruled. You've got no say in this matter, because of the fact that your behaviors now are not aligning with that which you want to see. They don't align with the end goal that you have planned, that you have put forth. Simple example. What discipline says is, you're on a diet, right? And you feel like having that chocolate. Discipline says, no, your feelings are overruled right now. You cannot have a chocolate at this point in time, more especially if you're not going to account for it in terms of calorie deficit. You're not going to account for it later. The problem you are creating now is going to have a ripple effect. So discipline says you are overruled. You don't have a say in this matter. I am going to have the final say. That is why accountability is so important, because sometimes we become our own worst enemy. We do things that ultimately sabotage the goals that we have and the dreams that we have. So that is why discipline has to have the right to overrule you. And number 4, discipline has reach, because it will draw out of you ability you never knew you had. Sometimes we fail to go as deep as we should within ourselves to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. And if we stay within the parameters of our comfort, we are unable to draw out of us that ability to its fullest capacity. So what discipline does, and if you allow it to do the work that it is capable of doing, it will draw out of you ability. You never knew that, oh my gosh, I can work or study for a full 8 hours, obviously taking the breaks that you need to take in between. You didn't know that you are able to wake up in the morning and go to the gym, or you didn't know that you are able to protect your mental health to the ability, to the extent that you do. You are breaking all of those relationships that are not conducive to your mental health, or they don't align with your purpose and your goals. Because if your goal, for instance, is to develop a healthier mental state, what discipline will show you, it will do, is that why are you picking up that phone call? That is ultimately going to put you in a state of anxiety, or a state of frustration, or a state of depression. Why are you putting yourself in that position? So what it does is that it draws out of you. You thought that you couldn't break free from certain things, but it will draw out of you ability you never knew you had. Therefore, discipline has reach. It is able to draw out of you things that you never knew you had. And number 5, discipline builds credibility, and credibility is currency. It is money. I am putting my money on you. When someone says that, just know that you have developed created a certain level of credibility. When someone can say, I am betting on you, bona ke betcha ka wena. In a good sense though, it means that to a certain extent, in that area, in that domain, you are reliable, dependable, and consistent. So as a result, you have built credibility. And if someone can bet on you, it means that you hold a certain level of currency. You are able to exchange your time for something else. The example that I like using, or that comes to mind, is like, let's say someone who is who sells things, like vendors, street vendors. You know, sometimes you can pass them, and see this person every day. At that time, you don't need the particular product that they are selling. But the day that you need them, and this is free advertising for them, the day that you need them, for someone who has built credibility, you will find them at the spot that they say they are at, or that they have always been, or the place that they function. The business is open at the time it's supposed to be open. It's open, and they close at the time that they are supposed to close. Not one day one decides, oh, you know what, I didn't get sales today. So if I didn't get sales, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna go. Discipline does not work like that. Discipline says you wake up in the morning, because now remember, you've already stress tested the process. You have already proved the results that, okay, at this particular spot, if I sit here, then I'm going to get sales. Just because you have one bad day should not nullify the process. It should not nullify the employment of discipline. So likewise, that person, the day that you as a potential customer are coming, they are credible enough to the extent that you know that they are there. You know that, oh, ish, you know what, I am going to get this product from this person because this person is reliable, this person is credible. And as a result, they have exchanged their credibility for currency. And number 6, discipline is a quality control system, because discipline is not only concerned about the consistency, but the quality of that which it is reproducing. Why do I say this? It is not good enough to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, but More and over and above that, what discipline does is that it makes sure that what you're doing over and over again is the right thing, or it's the right quality, because you've got a goal that you want to reach. An example I like using is a person who's going to the gym. You know, someone can wake up early in the morning every day and go to the gym, but not get the right results. Number one, you could find that, okay, you would find that they have stress tested the process and they have proved the results. Okay. But in the process whereby they have to now keep doing it over and over again, I remember my personal trainer used to say this, is that you can't squat just squatting. There is a certain way that you need to squat in order for you to activate certain muscle groups. So as a result, you could be squatting 100 squats, but they can't produce the results that a squat is able to produce. So what discipline does, it makes sure that you don't just do something consistently, but you do something consistently at or with the same quality or the required quality to reproduce the results that it's supposed to reproduce. It is not good enough just to do 100 wrong squats, but you need to do squats the right way in order to create or have the results or the desired results. And number 7, discipline pays the price now so that you don't have to later. And this is such an important aspect, or an important pillar of discipline, because discipline understands the cost of time. Because sometimes what you're doing now, or the price that that discipline is paying now to produce a specific outcome, won't be the same price you have to pay 10 years down the line. For an example, if you're in school and you're doing your matric and maybe you're 16, 17, 18 or 19, there is less responsibility on your shoulder. Perhaps maybe at that time you don't have to take care of a family, you don't have to take care of your children. There isn't so much responsibility, or you don't have so much responsibility on your shoulders. So ultimately, if you do what needs to be done at the right time, according to discipline or according to the structure of life, discipline helps you to achieve those results in that time frame. Because should you fail to employ discipline for you to achieve the results, if you ultimately want to then achieve those results at a later stage, the price that you have to pay may not be the same. 10 years down the line, it might be a lot more expensive for you to actually achieve that specific goal. Maybe at that time you've got more responsibility. Maybe at that time finances are not as flexible as they were. Maybe at that time now you have to pay for yourself. All of those things now are adding up to the cost of failure to employ discipline at the time that you were supposed to employ discipline. So those are the 7 pillars today, family, that I wanted to talk about that uphold discipline or make discipline what it is. Number 1, discipline functions beyond the scope of your comfort zones, because while your comfort zone will get you started, it is discipline that will take you across the finish line. Number 2, discipline employs a system of reciprocity. Once you have stress tested and proved your process, discipline will reproduce the results. Number 3, discipline has a right to overrule you if your behaviors threaten or sabotage the goal. Number 4, discipline has reach because it will draw out of you ability you never knew you had. Number 5, discipline builds credibility, and credibility is your currency. Number 6, discipline is a quality control system. because discipline is not only concerned about consistency, but it is also concerned about the quality with which the product or the service is being reproduced. Number 7, discipline pays the price now so that you don't have to pay it later. Till we meet again, love you everybody. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, and you share.